Welcome to Rohn Treasures, a place where we pause together and look deeply into the things that seem familiar yet are often forgotten in the rush of life. Have you ever felt like you've been busy all week, but when you look back, you haven't really moved forward? Work piles up, messages keep coming, notifications never stop, the day passes, then the week passes. But you're still in the same place, or worse, drifting away from yourself. I used to be that way. I thought the busier I was, the further I would go. But then I realized a simple and somewhat painful truth. Being busy is not the same as making progress, and your calendar never lies. If you open your calendar right now, whether it's on your phone or in your notebook, what do you see? You'll see what you truly value in life. Not what you say is important, but what you make time for. We may say that family matters, health matters, learning matters, the future matters. But if there's no space for them in your schedule, then they're just words. And this is exactly why I made this video. Because time is the fairest asset we all share. The successful person gets 24 hours. The unsuccessful person also gets 24 hours. The difference lies in how we fill each day on our calendar. In today's video, I'll share with you 7 principles to help you protect your time, redesign your schedule, and from there, redesign your life. And you'll want to stay until the end, because Principle 7 is the moment that completely changed how I live and work. Let's begin. Principle 1. Don't confuse being busy with making progress. For years, I used to think that as long as I stayed busy every day, life would automatically get better. I did so many things, replied to every message, answered every call, showed up for every request. My schedule was always packed, and I thought I was moving fast. But one day, I sat down and looked back at the past week, month, and year. I realized something that made me go silent for a while. I had gone far, but in the wrong direction. We live in an age where being busy is like a medal. People proudly say, I'm so busy. But busy doing what? Are you busy moving forward, or just busy surviving? Many people work endlessly, yet their dreams don't get closer. Their finances don't improve. Their relationships don't deepen. Their mind isn't at peace, not because they don't try, but because they're busy with things that don't take them where they want to go. It's like climbing a ladder as fast as you can, only to find out it's leaning against the wrong wall. Progress isn't about how much you do, it's about the direction you're going. 1 hour of focused, intentional work is stronger than 10 hours of chasing everything at once. I once asked a friend who worked nearly all day, "Why do you work so much?" He said, "I don't know. I'm just trying to finish whatever comes my way." And I understood. Busyness is a reaction. Progress is a choice. When you don't take charge of your time, life will fill it for you with random things. Messages come in, calls come in, unexpected invites. And you get pulled along without even realizing where you're going. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask slowly and honestly, do the things I do each day bring me closer to what I truly want? If the answer is uncertain, that's not progress, that's just movement. I once learned a line that I still carry with me. Not every movement is progress. Only conscious movement creates real change. And if you want to start changing, start with something small but real. Tonight, before you go to bed, open your calendar, look back at your day, and ask what truly moved me forward today. Tomorrow, choose just one most important thing and put it on your calendar before everything else. Just one thing, but do it with intention. Do that for 7 days, and you'll begin to feel the difference. Because to understand how busyness and progress differ, we must look deeper into the nature of time. And that's exactly what I'll share in Principle 2. Time is the fairest asset on earth. Principle 2, time is the fairest asset. There's something strange about life. We're all born different places, conditions, circumstances, opportunities. But time, everyone gets the same. The richest person in the world and someone still searching for direction both have exactly 24 hours in a day. No more, no less. And what creates the gap between two lives is not luck, not the starting point, not even talent, but how each person uses their time every day. I once heard a simple line that stayed with me ever since. You can't save time. You can only use it more wisely. We often say, I'll do that when I have time. But the truth is, time never just appears. You don't find it, you create it by choosing. And every choice comes with a cost. Look at your day. Time passes quietly, but it's silently building your future minute by minute. 30 minutes scrolling each morning, an hour lost in small distractions, an afternoon derailed by unimportant things. It doesn't seem like much, but repeat it every day and your entire life changes. Because time never stands still. It always moves forward. And either you move with it or you get left behind. I once met a young man who said to me, I wish I had more time to work on myself. I really want to change. I asked, How many minutes a day do you spend on that he was silent? We don't need more time to change our lives. We just need a little time each day that doesn't get stolen. Imagine time as gold coins given to you every morning. You can either spend them on temporary things or invest them in things that create lasting value. An hour learning creates growth in thinking. An hour training builds lasting strength. An hour of honest conversation deepens a relationship. An hour reflecting brings maturity. No one can do that for you. No one can live your life for you. Only you decide where those gold coins go. I've learned that life doesn't change in big moments. It changes through very small choices repeated every day. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't open your phone right away. Sit up straight, take a deep breath, and ask, what will the first hour of my day belong to? Just protect that first hour each day. Your life will change direction. Because if time is the fairest asset, then your calendar is where you show how you're using that asset. And this is the part that surprises most people. Your calendar never lies. Principe 3. Your calendar never lies. We often have so many things we say about our lives. We say that family matters, that health should be a priority, that learning and personal growth are essential, that peace and freedom are our ultimate goals. But you know what? What we say and what we do are often not the same. And the gap between those two is the gap between the life you're living and the life you wish you had. If you really want to know what someone values, you don't need to listen to what they say. You just need to see what they spend time on. Because the calendar doesn't know how to lie. It only records the truth about your daily choices. I still remember one evening when I sat down to look at my calendar. I went through it day by day, week by week, line after line of notes, meetings, emails, calls, tasks to finish, urgent things I couldn't say no to. My calendar was full of activity. But when I looked closely, I realized something that made me go silent. I wasn't spending time on the things I said were important. I said I wanted to keep learning every day, but there wasn't a single block for reading or study. I said health was a priority, but I never scheduled time for exercise. I said I valued family, yet each day ended without a single deep conversation. I said I needed time for myself, but I never stopped to breathe, to listen, to understand who I was becoming. I had said so much, but my calendar said otherwise. And in that moment, I understood one very clear thing. It's not that we lack time, we just don't prioritize what's important. There's a truth most people don't want to face. What you value isn't found in your words. It's found in your calendar, because your calendar reflects you. Not the version you want to be, but the version you're actually living. And that's why looking at your calendar can sometimes hurt. It forces you to be honest with yourself. You say you're building your future, but your calendar is full of trivial tasks. You say you're nurturing your soul, but your calendar is packed with distractions. You say you want peace, but your calendar is controlled by everything but you. The calendar never lies. It's the mirror of the life you're choosing. I want you to try something tonight, not to change anything, not to rearrange everything, not to start a big plan, just something small, simple, but real. Open your calendar. Don't edit it. Don't justify it. Just observe. Look at each line, each time block, and ask slowly, does this calendar reflect the life I want to live? If the answer is no, don't blame yourself. Don't call it failure. Call it awakening, because every great change doesn't start with a revolution. It starts with gentle honesty with yourself. And starting tomorrow, just do one simple thing. Put what matters most on your calendar first. Before the work, before the messages, before the meetings, before all the things demanding your attention. Because a meaningful life isn't built from urgent things. It's built from important things placed in the right order at the right time. I've learned this. What you write on your calendar each day becomes the life you live each year. And now we need to face another truth. Even if you know what's important, if you don't protect your time, others will take it. That's the reason for Principle 4. Principle 4, if you don't protect your calendar, others will take it. There's something most of us don't realize. Someone always wants your time, not because they're bad, not because they mean harm, but because everyone is trying to get their important things done. And if you're not clear about what's important to you, you'll get pulled into what's important to them. There are days when you wake up with clear intentions. Today I'll study. Today I'll work out. Today I'll spend time with my family. Today I'll slow down a bit. But then a message comes in. Hey, can you help me with something real quick? A call rings. Can you jump on an urgent meeting? An invitation appears. Come out for a bit. Won't take long. And the whole day is gone. Not because you didn't try, but because you didn't protect your calendar. We often think the biggest thief of time is laziness, but that's not true. The biggest thief of time is small, things that no big deal, things that just a minute things. They're not loud, they're not unpleasant. In fact, they often seem reasonable, but they're what quietly drain your life away. I realized this after many years. If you don't decide what will happen in your day, someone else will decide it for you. And most of the time they don't know and don't need to know where you're headed. Someone's urgent call can delay a project you've nurtured for months. A meaningless conversation can steal the mental energy you need for creativity. One small yes can take away a day that was meant to be yours. Imagine it like this. Your time is a garden. If you don't plant flowers, trees, and care for it, weeds will grow on their own. They don't need your permission. They don't need an invitation. Distraction works the same way. It happens automatically if you're not intentional. I remember a period in my life when I always felt exhausted. I was doing so much. Yet I always felt like I wasn't touching what truly mattered. I started to feel like my life wasn't mine anymore. And then I realized I didn't lack discipline. I didn't lack goals. I just lacked boundaries. I didn't know how to say no. Saying no isn't rejecting others. It's agreeing with yourself, agreeing with the future you want, agreeing with the person you're trying to become. Say no to the small things so you can say yes to the big things. Say no to distractions so you can say yes to focus. Say no to living by others' expectations so you can say yes to your own life. I want you to try something simple but powerful tomorrow. When someone asks you to do something you know isn't necessary, pause for 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. Take a breath and say slowly, let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you. That's it. Don't reject. Don't agree right away. Just hold your time for a moment. Because most wrong decisions happen when we answer too quickly. Where you set your boundaries is where you begin to take your life back. I've learned this freedom doesn't come from having more time. Freedom comes from protecting your time. And once you learn to protect your calendar, you'll begin to see something even deeper. Time isn't just something to use. Time is something to invest. And that's when your life begins to yield real returns. Principle 5, invest your time, don't spend it. There's a big difference between spending time and investing time. But most people spend their whole lives just spending, not investing. When you spend time, time passes and leaves nothing behind. But when you invest time, time passes and gives something back to you: capability, knowledge, health, relationships, peace, freedom. Time can yield returns if you know how to use it like a gold coin. I once met a man with a very special habit. Every morning he spent exactly 1 hour just to learn something new. Not much. Not trying to become extraordinary, just 1 hour. When I asked why, he smiled and said, because 1 hour a day doesn't change me in a week, but it changes me in a year. I never forgot that line. 1 hour of reading a day may not make your life explode overnight, but after a year, you'll think differently. You'll see life from a steadier perspective. And after 3 years, you'll be a completely different person. Not because of one big moment, but because of one small choice repeated every day. We often underestimate small things because they don't deliver immediate results. We like things that are fast, instant, immediate. But life doesn't work that way. A tree doesn't grow in a night. Muscles don't form in one workout. Knowledge doesn't deepen in an hour of study. Everything of value comes from quiet accumulation. Think of time as gold coins. Each morning life hands you a new pouch of gold. 24 coins. Use them within the day. No carrying over. No borrowing more. No one sells you extra. You have to use them. The only question is, will you spend those coins? Or will you invest them? If you spend them on small things, distractions, easy comforts, time will pass and you'll get emptiness in return. But if you invest them in learning, training, creating, connecting, building inner strength, time will pass and you'll get power in return. The power to live the life you choose, not the life circumstances push you into. I want you to look very slowly at one day of your life. How does one morning hour pass? How does one evening hour pass? How does one midday hour pass? Where are you placing the most precious coins of your life? You'll see the answer right away. You don't need to change everything. You don't need a grand plan. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. We just need to start with a small block of time invested in the right place. Maybe 30 minutes of reading before the day begins. Maybe 20 minutes sitting in stillness to listen to your mind. Maybe 10 minutes to check in and be truly present with someone you love. These moments, they give something back to you, unfading, unlost, not meaningless. I used to think I needed to change my life with big steps, But then I understood life doesn't change in grand moments. It changes in ordinary moments done with awareness. I've learned time is the highest yield investment in life. How you invest it is how your life pays you back. But to invest time wisely, we need a very important ritual. A small habit with the power to change your entire direction in life. It's reviewing your calendar each week. Principle 6, the weekend ritual. Review your calendar and reset your direction. There's a mistake many people make. They live week after week, month after month, without ever stopping to ask, where am I heading? Life has a powerful pull. If you don't watch it, it'll carry you away. And you can go very far, but not in the direction you want. That's why you need a ritual, a quiet moment, a pause point, a fixed time repeated every week, not to control your life, but to look at your life. I call it calendar review hour. You don't need much, just 30 to 60 minutes each weekend, no rushing, no self-judgment, just observing. You open last week's calendar, you look at each day, each block of time, each choice, and you ask very slowly, very gently, very honestly, this week, did I live in alignment with the values I claim to hold? That question is simple, but it has the power to adjust your entire life. When I started this ritual, I noticed many things. I realized there were things I considered important, but I wasn't giving them time. I realized I was always busy, but not truly moving forward. I realized my mind was being pulled by small tasks, invitations, things that demanded immediate attention, but carried no long-term value. I realized I wasn't living proactively. I was reacting to life. And then I changed not with one big decision, but with very small ones. I began to reorganize my calendar. I put the important things first. I removed what wasn't necessary. I created space for what nourishes me. Not every day was perfect, not every week was complete, but each week I returned closer to the person I wanted to become. Change never happens in a single day. Change happens in the times you come back to look at yourself. Like a sailor in the middle of the ocean. If you drift by just one small degree, at first it seems fine, but if you don't correct it, you'll be off by hundreds of kilometers. The weekend ritual is the moment you reset your course. Not too late, never too late. I invite you to try it this week. Choose a quiet afternoon or evening. Silence your phone, take a deep breath, and open your calendar. Don't blame yourself, don't judge. Don't say I'm terrible. Just ask, am I living the life I choose or the life that's happening to me? And if there's even one thing you know you need to put on next week's calendar, put it there. Just one thing. One intentional action, one time block placed back where it belongs. That's how change begins. Not loud, not dramatic, just a gentle, true returning to yourself. I've learned that growth doesn't happen while running. Growth happens when you stop and look within. And once you know how to look back, you'll start to see something very important. Time can't be managed. It can only be protected. And here lies the key that changes your entire way of living, the principle that ties everything before into a complete picture. That is principle 7. Principle 7, time cannot be managed, only protected. For many years, I tried to manage time. I tried scheduling my work by the hour. I tried making priority lists. I tried apps, planners, reminders, and alarms. But no matter what I did, I still felt time slipping through my fingers. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed, and I kept feeling like I was running behind life. Until one day, I realized something that changed everything. Time doesn't need you to manage it. It only needs you to protect it. Time doesn't wait for you. It doesn't wait until you're ready. It doesn't ask if you've planned it right. It flows quietly, silently, without noise, but never backward. I realized the problem wasn't time. It was boundaries. If you don't set clear boundaries around your time, everything around you will spill in. Work will spill in. Other people's expectations will spill in. Distractions will spill in. And in the end, your time will no longer be yours. Imagine your life as a house. If the door is always open, anyone can walk in. No knocking, no asking. They just walk in, bringing their own things with them. Not because they're bad, but because you haven't set limits, time works the same way. If you don't close the door, it will always be filled with random things. Not because life is too complicated, but because you haven't learned to say, this is my time. I used to believe that strength came from doing more. But now I understand strength comes from knowing how to protect your space. Space to think, space to breathe, space to learn, space to love, space to live authentically. Because without space, we only react to life, we don't live it. Some people spend their whole lives running after everything and never truly arrive anywhere. Others seem to do less, but they live deeper, clearer, brighter, not because they're lucky, but because they protect their time. They know when to open the door and when to close it. They know what's allowed to enter their life and what must stop at the threshold. You can do that too. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Just start with one boundary, one time block each day devoted only to what matters most to you. Put it on your calendar, mark it, keep it like you'd keep a promise. Don't let anyone touch that time. Don't let distractions steal it. Don't let old habits pull you back. That block of time is the foundation of the life you're building. I want you to remember one line deeply. You can't control time, but you can decide what your time belongs to. And when you decide that consciously, your life begins to take shape, direction, and depth. I've learned freedom doesn't come from having more time. Freedom comes from protecting time for what nourishes your soul. We've gone through understanding time, how to look at your calendar, how to protect your boundaries, how to invest instead of spend, how to reset your direction. Now it's time to bring it all together to conclude with the core message, to bring the viewer to that final moment of reflection. We've looked deeply into something that seems familiar, yet is the foundation of every achievement in life, how we use our time. Because time isn't just numbers on a calendar. It's life unfolding hour by hour, minute by minute. We've seen that being busy doesn't mean making progress. Progress happens only when we know where we're going and choose the right things to do. We've realized that time is the fairest asset. Everyone gets 24 hours, but no one uses them the same way. We've looked at the calendar, the truest mirror of our values. Not what we say is important, but what we give time to. We've learned to protect our time from others' demands, from old habits, from distractions. And we've seen that time cannot be managed, it can only be protected. And if you protect your time, time will protect your future. Remember this deeply. Life isn't built from big decisions, it's built from small choices repeated every day. Today you can start with one small thing. Choose a block of time that belongs to what matters most to you. Put it on your calendar and keep it as a promise to yourself. Not perfect, just real. If you feel these reflections have touched, you hit like and subscribe to continue this journey with me. Not to hear more words, but to keep making the choices that move you forward every day. Of the 7 principles today, which one made you think the most? Leave a comment below. I'll read each one. And remember, you and I both have a gift today. Use it wisely. See you in the next video at Rohn Treasures.